And to talk about the sea trial of China's first aircraft carrier, we are now joined by my colleague Wu Haojun. Good evening, Haojun.
Good evening.
Well, this is, of course, huge for China's military. Can you tell us more about the countries in the world with aircraft carriers? How many countries have carriers and how many are in service?
Well, let's first take a look at this map here for an overview of the distribution of aircraft carriers in the world. The countries you can see that are colored in blue here are the ones that currently operate aircraft carriers, and the ones in light blue are the ones that have operated carriers in the past. For example, China's eastern neighbor of Japan here, the country decommissioned a total of 20 aircraft carriers in the 1940s. Most were sunk during the Second World War, and a few were retired after the war. But for now, we're going to focus on the countries with operating carriers. There are currently a total of 9 countries in the world with carriers in service. As you can see here, the United States is certainly leading the way with 11 carriers in service. In addition, the country also has 1 more in reserve and 2 more currently under construction.
Of course, we know China has set in motion plans to develop its own homegrown aircraft carriers. And this one, it is, of course, the Soviet carrier Variag that is being refitted now. Do other countries also have plans of developing or even expanding their capabilities of carrier?
Well, China is certainly not the only country with ambitions of developing its aircraft carrier capabilities. The United States, despite already having 11 super carriers, have started construction on 2 new Ford-class super carriers, and it doesn't just stop there. The American House Armed Services Sea Power Subcommittee has recommended 7 or maybe 8 new carriers for the country. That's 1 added every 4 years. And aircraft carriers are certainly not just an American obsession. Countries like India, the UK, Germany, Japan, Russia, Spain, and of course China all have either under construction or planned for construction. But I'd like to point out that some military observers believe that modern anti-ship weapon systems, such as torpedoes and missiles, have made carriers too vulnerable for modern combat. Therefore, they're now more a matter of displaying geopolitical and military prestige than actual combat power. Back to you.
All right. Thank you for explanation, Haojun. And for more